name is Carol. I'm a physical therapist at Rocky Mountain Rehab and Sports Medicine Clinic in Camera, Alberta. Thanks for tuning in to our Rocky Mountain Rehab Exercise Party Series. Today we're going to be focusing on upper back and neck mobility and strength. As a physical therapist, I treat a lot of neck pain and headaches. The neck is a complicated beast. It's really flexible, which allows us to look over our shoulder, see what's going on behind us, and look up at the sky and see what's going on above us. But that flexibility can lead to overstressing the joints and compressing the nerves in our neck. Today our program is going to look at trying to help us have mobility to keep an upright posture, but also the strength to hold it there, because it's one thing to know the right position, it's another thing to hold it there for a long time. And the three most common ways that people screw up their necks is the old sitting at your desk, slouching on your computer, and then having to tilt your head so you can see your screen. Or an athletic example would be on our bicycles, leaning forward and having to crank our neck to see the road in front of us. Or the third way is when we're not strong enough in our shoulder girdle, and when we use our arms, we hunch our shoulders up into our neck, and that will compress our spine as well. Okay? So let's get started. Today, you're going to need a few things. You're going to need a foam roller if you have one, okay? If you don't have one, just get a really solid blanket and roll it up really tightly. It would be great if it's long enough to go from your low back to the top of your head, okay? You're going to need some banding and a place to attach it, okay? And I've got a lighter banding for another exercise as well. So if you have two sets of banding, good. If not, just pause the exercise program until you can set up your logistics, okay? You're also going to need a little bit of wall space and some floor space. Okay, so assuming that you guys have been, working at your computers, not moving your bodies, let's start with the warm-up. And today we're just going to do some really simple exercises on our mat. But as we do them, I want you guys to think about having that super tall posture. I like telling people that the top of your spine is actually the top of your head, and you're trying to keep that elevated towards the sky while keeping your chin relaxed towards your throat. So I don't want a military posture looking upwards. I want that chin to be relaxed down to your throat, okay? So a little bit of high stepping. When you're ready, jump in. Let's get our blood pumping, get ourselves ready to work our bodies. We'll do about 10 more because I was kind of talking as we did that. And remember, as you get tired, not to shrug your shoulders up. Keep those shoulders down. 9. Let's finish with this one. This time we're going to just do a little bit of kicking your butt. And as you do that, I want you just to think about relaxing your shoulder girdle, relaxing your arms, but being able to keep the shoulders relaxed while you keep that elevated posture through your neck. Let's do about 5 more of those. Good. And then let's try some side-to-side motion. We'll try some jumping jacks. If that's too hard for you, then you could do it in a slower version where you step out, come back, step out, come back. Okay? But if you're okay, do the old traditional jumping jack. Some people call this the jail room warm-up. When you do a warm-up, you don't need any equipment, very small space, but you're working yourself enough. You can tell I'm starting to pant. You're getting your heart rate up, getting your breathing going, get your muscles ready to do a little bit of workout. Let's do 5 more of those. Good, okay, and then last one, just for Can more and the Nordic community that's here. Let's do a little bit of Nordic ski striding. If that's too hard for you, you could do it like a slow-mo, okay? Whatever suits your fancy. And again, we're just trying to let our arms swing, keep our posture tall, and get a little blood flow into those muscles that we're going to work. How about 10 more? Good. Okay. So our first exercise, you need to grab that tubing and your roller, and we're going to lay on our backs. And this exercise is all about being able to manipulate your shoulder blades or your scapulas and keep your neck relaxed and your body quiet. Okay, so sit right on the bottom of your roller. Wrap your tubing around you like a shawl. You got to peg it with your body so it doesn't slide up. Lay on your roller. When you first get there, I want you to think about how you position your head. So I don't want you looking behind you at the wall behind you. I want you to look right above you at the ceiling above you, okay? Your feet, the closer they are together without touching, gives you a little more rotary core because you're rolling around on that roller, okay? You're going to bring your arms up to 90. And this exercise isn't hard. It's just about figuring out your shoulder blades. So I want you to hold your tubing, reach up to the ceiling as far as you can. Then without moving your trunk and without tensing your neck, I want you to drop back down until you feel the roller come between your shoulder blades and give it a good squeeze. We're going to squeeze it for 6 seconds. Then reach up. We don't need to reach up and hold it. We can just reach up, take a big breath in, and then drop back down again. Find the roll between our shoulder blades and squeeze it for 6 seconds. And like the other videos I've done, it's really important that you breathe when you do this stuff. So maybe instead of counting 6, you do like a couple of breaths. Then reach up. Big breath in with that reach, and then drop down, exhale, find the roller, give it a good squeeze between your shoulder blades without tensing your neck or lifting your rib cage. And once more, let's reach up, big breath, breathe out, find the roller, give it a big old squeeze. Good. So that exercise is warming us up for the next exercise. And in my intro, we talked about how it's really important that you can use your arms without shrugging up into your neck. So this exercise, the most important thing is that you keep your shoulder blades glued to the roller while you do some work with your arms, okay? I've chosen external rotation of our shoulder. So for that, you're laying on the roller, you're gonna hold the tubing about body width apart. You're going to grab the roller with your shoulder blades and give it a good squeeze, okay? And then you're going to spin one hand away from the other, okay? And the whole time doing this, I'm thinking about, is my neck relaxed? Is my chin relaxed towards my throat? Can I feel the roller between my shoulder blades squeezing it the whole time, or am I bouncing on and off of it? The goal would be that you could, do 10 per arm without losing that nice glued on position of your shoulder blade onto the roller. And these exercises are in the category of scapular stabilization exercises. So I think we're pretty close to have done 10. Okay, so we'll finish off our first set. Okay, to go with that, we're going to do an exercise on our hands and knees, because a really important part of stabilizing our shoulder girdle is pushing. And so in the category of pushing, let's just do a super dog this time. So setting up with our hips, our knees right under our hips, hands right under our shoulders. We're going to set our abs, straighten out a leg, straighten out the opposite arm, and we're going to hold that for about 3 to 4 breaths, giving us about 10 seconds of work. I'm thinking with my neck this time that I'm elongating my spine. So I should be looking at the floor and thinking about having a nice long neck. Good, and then let's do the other side. Same setup. Okay, I've got my abs set, keeping my trunk really quiet, straightening out my leg, straightening out the opposite arm, pushing myself away from the ground with that weight-bearing arm, and just holding that there for a few breaths. Good, okay. Let's do one more set on the roller of that external rotation. And if you found that fairly easy, I'm going to add a little trick to it. So that this time I'm going to set my shoulder blades into the roll. I'm going to lift one heel slightly, and that's going to make me more wiggly on the roller. Then I'm going to do one to the right, one to the left. Maybe I'll do 2 per arm. Then I'm going to switch heels and go again. Right, left, and left. Okay, I'm going to switch heels again. And what that heel lift does, you'll feel it. It makes you super wiggly on the roller. So you have to engage your abs better so that you don't fall off the roller. Okay? When we're on the roller, we're trying to promote reactive core. So we're not necessarily pushing our back into the roller. We're just letting the roller make our abdominal muscles respond so we don't fall off the roller. So I don't want to see any lifting of the back up and off the roller, but I also want you to be able to breathe and just be able to practice lifting one heel and moving your arms. That gave us about 10. Okay, so let's go on to our next pushing exercise. So this time, instead of doing a super dog, we're going to do either a half plank or a half push-up, okay? So for a half push-up, on your hands and knees, hands wherever they're comfortable underneath your shoulders, starting on the ground, bending your knees, and doing some push-ups. And this is probably the most challenging for neck clients, that they can use their arms, keep that chin relaxed towards your throat without tensing into your neck. So if you're finding that you just can't do that from a floor push-up, then I want you to switch to a wall push-up. We're looking for about 10 to 20 push-ups, enough that you feel your chest working lots, but you're not tensing your neck. Good, okay. So we're gonna move on from there to rows, and that's when you need to have your tubing attached to like a door handle, around a banister, okay? And this time it's a little bit trickier than the roller, because we're gonna work on reaching with our shoulder blades and drawing our shoulder blades back, but we won't have the roller to give us that feedback. So it's really important that you bend your knees, you keep your trunk really quiet, okay? Start with enough tension in the tubing that it's kind of pulling your arms forward, okay? Set your shoulder blades and then pull your arms to your side. Then relax again, maybe you breathe in at this point, then set your shoulder blades, pull your arms to your side. And I'm looking, if you were here in the room with me, I'd be looking to make sure that as you do this part, as you pull your shoulder blades together, that you're not tensing your neck, that I don't see your neck all of a sudden get super short. Okay, so we're going to do about 10 of those. I lost track of time of my counting, but I think I'm at 8. We'll call that 10. Okay, so let's alternate that with a pushing exercise. So this time I'm just going to demo countertop push-up, okay, which is a nice option if you felt like that floor push-up was too much for you, okay? So go to your countertop, you can set yourself up firm like a board, and then you're going to do your push-up. And as you come forward, make sure you're not losing it and doing the big chin reach. Make sure you're keeping your chin underneath you, okay? That's going to be super important for this one. And if you can, try to breathe out as you exert yourself, okay? So breathe in on the way down, out on the way up. Do enough of those that you feel like you're a little bit shaky. We want to get some fatigue out of you, okay? Then let's go back to our rows, okay? Setting up, making sure that our knees are a little bit bent, abs are tight, back up a little bit till you feel like you're being pulled forward, then shoulder blades back, follow through with the arm. This is pretty strong, those muscles between our shoulder blades. So if you've got heavier banding and you can do a heavier banding without tensing your neck, by all means go for it. If you've got a partner at home that can watch you, you want to make sure that you're looking as though you're not all of a sudden shrugging up your shoulders towards your head. Good. So that was 10 this time. Let's do another round of push-ups. This time I'm going to show you a wall push-up. Okay, that's probably the easiest one. Find yourself a wall, hands shoulder height, and then go into it. And this time, think about your forehead coming in towards the wall versus your chin. If you were fine doing the floor push-ups, I want you just to do floor push-ups, but don't be a hero with push-ups. Make sure that you're actually able to do the push-up without tensing your neck. And that's the problem with these necks. We get into bad muscle recruitment patterns, and then it's really hard for people to get strong without triggering their neck pain, their headache pain. Awesome. We got one more round of rows to do, so let's get cracking at those. Setting up, abs set, knees bent. Okay, I'm keeping my trunk totally quiet, hopefully. You guys can let me know if my technique was bad. But my goal would be that my trunk is completely quiet, and I've just been working these shoulder blades back and forth. I like to break it down so I really feel that I'm setting my shoulder blades each time. Some people will leave the scap set and just move their arms so they'll look more like this. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. But when we're learning, I think it's really important that you guys can actually find that good position of setting your shoulder blades quickly, because ultimately that's what I want you to do when you go to open a door or lift something heavy or pulling yourself up like climbers. Okay, so there's 10 rows. Okay, so for our last set of push-ups, let's go down to the floor again. Okay, and this time, just to change it up a little bit, we're going to do a wide push-up. So that means that when you get to the bottom, your elbows are at 90 degrees. As long as that's comfortable for you and your shoulder, that'll just work your pecs a little bit differently. exercise is one that has really helped a lot of my computer people, okay? And it's called neck extension isometric, okay? It can be done using your hand behind your head, okay? It can be done against a wall, pushing your head into a towel, okay? Or if you're lucky enough that you have a great headrest in your car, you can just push your head into your headrest. If the towel feels too weird, you could just fold up a little washcloth, put that in there. It's important that when you push back, that you're able to keep your trunk really tall and that your head's actually stacked up, your ear over your shoulder. I don't want you to be, leaning back like this because that would pinch your neck, okay? So find your right position for you, whether that's a towel, rolled up towel, or a washcloth. If you want to, if you're on a wall, some people like to put their back on the wall. Some people that's too tight, so they'll just stand away from the wall, okay? Relax your chin towards your throat, and then you're gonna push your head into the towel. So I'm pushing back into the wall, okay? And I'm gonna hold that for 6 seconds. They think isometrics, you need about 6 seconds to completely recruit your muscle fibers, as many muscle fibers as possible, okay? And then relax, okay? So a lot of my computer people will do that every 20 to 30 minutes at their desk if they find that they caught themselves, doing this thing on their computer screen. They'll stop, just use their hand usually, and push their head back into their hand for 6 seconds. So maybe try that once you kind of know how it feels. Just right at the base of your head, pushing back, keeping that chin down, trying to feel really tall, and holding that for 6 seconds. Good, okay? And then the other way I like to use a neck extension is with TheraBand. And this is more advanced. So if you have a history of headaches, I don't want you to do this yet. I want you just to see how you feel with doing what we've done with the isometric, okay? But if you don't have a history of headaches, give this a try. It actually isn't as hard as it looks, okay? It kind of wrecks your hairdo though, so that's the drag of it. So you're gonna put some TheraBand around the base of your spine, okay? I like to start with my hands on the wall, so I have a reference point. I was also taught this just with freestanding. So if you don't have a wall, you could just do it freestanding. Position yourself so that your chin again is relaxed towards your throat. You have to hold that position as you push away from the wall, okay? So the pushing away from the wall increases the tension on the banding so that you have to work a little bit harder to keep that chin position, okay? But it shouldn't be so hard that you have any pain or that you lose your position. A little bit of finessing, like I felt I was going to lose my tubing there, so I had to go back down. So a little bit of finessing with where to put that TheraBand. We're going to do 10. I think we're on 9. Good. So that's another way to do it. It's a bit more dynamic. It's a bit harder. You get more advanced. Okay? So those are our main strength things. I want to just finish with some good mobility work for your back. The first one we're going to do, we're going to get back on that roller and do some rolling over the roller. Okay? And with this, I'm pretty particular because the roller's firm and your spine is flexible. So we want to keep this exercise on your ribs. You're going to start with the roller right at the base of your ribs. Okay? You're going to hold your head gently so that you just keep it in a supported position. Okay? Right now I'm in the tightest, almost like I'm going to do a sit-up position. But then I'm going to walk out and try to drop my back, not just my neck, but my back, over the roller, okay? Once I get as high as that, if I go any higher, I'm probably gonna lose my roll. So I'm going to tuck my chin, roll my back, use my abs, push through my feet to get myself back to the base of my ribs. Okay? And then I'm going to walk out. Just think of relaxing my back over the roller. If your back's being really tight, you might get a couple little cracks out of this. Okay, that's fine. But now you're just going to go between this tight flex position, sit up position, and walking out. Breathe out, relax, let your back go in the other direction. Let's do about 5 or 6 of these guys. It feels really good. I love this exercise. I feel like it massages my muscle. I feel like if I've been slouching or I've been riding my bike and my upper back's really tight, that it kind of stretches it out. I would never do this when I'm really sore or really cold. You want to do this. It's perfect part of your warm down, right? You've been working, pumping your muscles. Now you're just rolling them out. Okay, one more. Awesome. Okay, then let's do a little bit of trunk rotation. So we're going to do that using the airplane, okay? And for that, you're on your hands and knees again. You're going to set your shoulder to 90 degrees. Keep your chin relaxed toward your spine and rotate your trunk to the side of your hand, okay? Come back to neutral, breath in, set the opposite shoulder, turn and rotate your mid-back. Breathe out. Breathe into center, set the arm, breathe out as you rotate. Breathe in to center, set your arm, rotate. Okay? Your head's going to go along for the ride with this, but the goal of the exercise is that you're rotating your mid-back. So I want you to feel work between your shoulder blades. If all you feel is your neck, you're likely forcing the movement through your neck versus thinking of your spine as being that rotisserie stick that you're just swiveling around. Let's try a couple more per side. Good. Okay, awesome. Then I'm going to just come back into sitting or in standing, doesn't matter, okay? And if you were at your desk, you could do rotation just in sitting. You could get that arm up, get a big breath, think about getting tall through the top of your spine, grandma's pulling you up to heaven, okay? And exhale as you turn one way, come back to center, big breath in, exhale the other way. It's awesome to do it. We want a rolly stool, because I can just pivot on my rolly stool. But this is a really nice one because you could take, a 10 to 30 second break at work and just move your back for a little bit, right? Good, okay? The other break you could use at work is to just work on your neck rotation. Again, being tall with a breath in, and then breathing out as you look over one shoulder, come back to center, breathing out as you work over the other shoulder, back to center, and I'm just turning as far as I feel like I can be on a swivel stick, okay? And it's pain-free, so none of this stuff should be sore or anything. You're just kind of trying to lubricate your joints. Okay? I could also think about side bends, so I can lower one ear to one shoulder, come back to center, lower the other way, and I'm thinking about keeping this shoulder low so I don't cheat. Come back to center, and lower, come back to center with that breath in, and lower. Okay? If I want to stretch my trapezius muscle, that one that really compresses our neck if we're shrugging our shoulders up, I've got to keep my shoulder low on that side. So you can grab your chair or grab your arm behind your back and then drop your head towards the opposite armpit. It's like you're going to smell your armpit. Hold it, breath in, breath out. Come back up, drop the opposite shoulder, drop your head across, breath in and out. Let's do that again. This is such a great exercise. Everyone holds your stress differently. I think I hold it in my upper fibers of trapezius. And one more for the left. Give it a little bit of love. Good. While we're in that position with our hands behind our back, we can do a little squeeze of our shoulder blades together. If that doesn't give you very much of a stretch across your chest, you can lift your arms up to augment it. And relax. And if we want to kind of round our upper back, we can do the pretzel and grab onto your arms, or some people call it the cobra. And this time I'm thinking about, rounding between my shoulder blades, and I'm dropping my elbows down, dropping my chin, trying to stretch between my shoulder blades. Alternating that again with something to open my chest. Doing that squeeze of my shoulder blades together, lifting the arms if I need to give myself a bit better stretch, bigger stretch. If you can't hold your hands, don't worry about it. Just put your hands by your side and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Good, and then if you remember which arm you crossed which way last time, do it the opposite way for your cobra. And again, dropping your chin, dropping your elbows to kind of stretch out that mid-back. Good, and then let's just finish with a couple of shoulder blade circles. Just get some nice blood flow and let everything relax for you. Okay, and that's a good little mini workout for our upper back mobility, the strength of anchoring those shoulder blades so that when we use our arms, we're not lifting up, okay? Shoulder blade stabilization exercises, as well as pushing and being able to have the strength to keep that chin tucked towards our chest. So I hope you enjoyed that workout. Let me know if you ever have any questions about these exercises, and have a great day.